Good morning, Bosconians. They say a hero is someone who has given his life to something bigger than himself. You know, one of my favorite superhero movies was shown 23 years ago. Di pa kayo pinapanganak nun. It's a very old film and it's about Spider-Man. It's a movie about a high school student who developed superpowers when a radioactive spider beat him. So alam niyo naman yung storya, di ba? So imagine having super strength, super senses, no? Talagang you can do everything. No? So at first, it was all about him. He used his powers for fun, to make some quick money, and most especially, he wanted to impress people, lalo na yung crush niya si Mary Jane. He used his powers for selfish reasons. Ganun kababaw. But when tragedy struck, when his beloved Uncle Ben was killed, he realized that he was meant for something bigger. His powers were not meant for himself, but for something greater, for serving others. Peter Parker grew from a self-centered teenager to a true hero, capable and willing to sacrifice himself for the good of others. Ang galing, no? Kaya nga maraming favorites si Spider-Man. So let me introduce you to a real-life Bosconian hero, si Blessed Augustus Czartoryski. Sino dito yung may section na Czartoryski? Do you know that he was born from a royal family, a real prince, basically living a life of wealth, comfort, and power? Naturally, his family had big plans for him, expecting him to follow the path of a prince and take a position of power. But you know, deep inside, this young Czartoryski wanted to follow a different path. Deep inside, he was hearing a voice and he wanted to follow that voice. And he knew that God has a plan for him. All he wanted was to follow God's dream for him and not his family's expectations. He had a deep desire to become a Salesian priest, and you know what? He suffered for that, no? Because that meant giving up his wealth, comfort, and of course, it meant disappointing his family, especially his parents. He chose to follow God's dream for him, proving that real courage isn't about wearing a crown, but it's about following your heart. Like the superhero Spider-Man, Czartoryski embraced a life of service, showing us that the true greatness, real success, comes from pursuing our purpose. Kayo, Bosconians, natanong nyo na ba sa sarili nyo? Ano kayang gusto ni God sa akin? It may happen that your true calling will not align with what the world tells you to do. How the world defines success. But just like Czartoryski, you have to listen to that small voice inside. Alam nyo, marami sa atin natatakot na ibigay lahat para kay God kasi we might lose a lot of things in life. No? Talk about fear of missing out. Pero ganun talaga. Sometimes the right path, the happiest path, is not the easiest one. Alam niyo si Don Bosco, he always advised us to listen to the popes. And the popes all throughout the history would tell this one important thing. Sabi ng mga popes, do not be afraid. Alam niyo, ang ganda ng sinabi ni Pope Benedict XVI. Sabi niya, Do not be afraid of Christ. He takes nothing away, and He gives you everything. When we give ourselves to Him, we receive 100-fold in return. Sabi niya, yes, open wide the doors to Christ, and you will find true life. So, as we prepare to celebrate the feast of St. John Bosco, another real-life superhero, let us be inspired by Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, and our very own Blessed Augustus Czartoryski, who realized that one's powers weren't just for oneself. Remember, we are all called for greater purpose. No question about it. But the question is, are you willing to follow it? Good morning.